ever, art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
A powerful display of faith and patriotism in Canada earlier this month as a group of veterans joined the Freedom Convoy to pray and sing their nation's anthem. The pastor and decorated veteran who led that prayer is now calling out Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for declaring war on his own people as Canadian lawmakers extend his emergency powers. Pastor Harold Ristau joins us now. Pastor, thank you so much for being here and for what you're standing for. When you say Justin Trudeau is declaring war on his own people, that's big. That's big talk. What do you see that he's done that adds up to that, and what's happening moving forward?
Right. Thanks, Pete, for having here this morning, and it's a privilege to be with you.
Of course.
Well, you've all been tracking, and the international community has also been tracking what's going on in Canada, and these protests have resulted after a couple of years of the average Canadians feeling like voicing any dissent regarding measures and the vaccine requirements have fallen on deaf ears. So the Convoy of Freedom began with the question of whether or not those who are unvaccinated continue to be punished for being unvaccinated, and whether or not they can simply do their jobs. So the convoy was organized as a peaceful convoy, capturing people like myself who have said, finally, we have a way that we can legally express our difference of opinion and basically the violation of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in Canada. So in any normal circumstance, when a protest happens, the government has mechanisms in place in which they negotiate with the protesters, at least to hear what they've got to say. Well, Justin Trudeau has made it clear, without using the word terrorist, he's basically treated the protesters as he would with any terrorist organization, saying, I won't negotiate with terrorists. He has said nothing to the protesters, none of the leaders, even though they represent the protesters are within the millions. We don't know the exact stats because of the mainstream media. The trucks that rolled into Ottawa a month ago were tens of thousands. Every overpass in Canada had thousands of protesters. Pictures. Right, and so he's basically, Justin has said, this is a fringe minority of Canadians who are Islamophobes, homophobes, anti-Semitic, et cetera, even though it's represented by people of all stripes and colors of this country. So he's now, the greatest crime that's been committed right now is the basically parking infractions. There has been no acts of violence from the protesters in the last month. By the grace of God, a hedge of holy angels have protected us, all the protesters, from any sort of violence. The only acts of violence have actually happened in the last couple of days by the police and also by counter-protesters over the last few weeks. And if there would have been an act of violence, it would have been definitely displayed all over the media.
For sure.
So his approach to these peaceful protests have not only been a terrorizing of Canadians, but he has treated us as if we're terrorists. So now what he did as of last night is he's put into place what's called the Emergency Measures Act, formerly the War Measures Act, or essentially martial law. It's only been used a couple of times in our history, and the last time it was used was in the 1970s when his father used it against real terrorists who wanted to separate from Canada. There were murders, there were hostage taking. So that was back in the 1970s.
Against
Pete, this is not what the mainstream media and Justin Trudeau is presenting these protesters. It's absolutely unjustifiable.
Well, and it means a lot coming from you as a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan to say you saw scary things while serving, but these emergency actions have really terrified you. We'll be watching how far he tries to go with it. Unfortunately, we have to leave it right there. Pastor, thank you so much.